So something told me that I need to talk about boundaries today. I don't know what it was, but I was just sitting down thinking to myself, like, had I had healthy boundaries when I was early on in my 20s, I think I would be further along now than where I am now. So hopefully, me talking about boundaries and how you setting healthy boundaries could benefit your life can help you out in some type of way. As some of you know, I'm in my early 30s. So, there's been times where I had to set boundaries and stick to them, stand 10 toes down on them and not flex. And I think it's very important that you all have some boundaries too that you don't flex on. But first, you kind of got to figure out, how do you even set healthy boundaries? Because everybody is like, you set a boundary, you need to have boundaries, you need to have, but nobody kind of walks you through like what that process looks like in order to have healthy boundaries. So that's what this video is about. So walk along with me. Yeah, literally walk along with me. But before I officially start this video, I do need to take my vitamins because I didn't take my vitamins none this weekend. I am slipping. Before I pop one of these vitamins in, I do want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is CVS. Thank you, CVS, for sponsoring today's video. CVS is a one-stop shop for me, especially when it comes to my health and wellness needs. As y'all can see, I am about to take these one-a-day vitamins. And also, I've purchased like other things from CVS as well. It could be gummy vitamins. I've purchased vitamin D. Sometimes I'm deficient when it comes to vitamin D. Which a lot of African Americans are. So make sure you check your vitamin D levels. If so, your doctor probably will recommend that you take supplemental vitamin D. But actually today I'm gonna be going outside to get my little vitamin D in, you know what I'm saying? Of course, when you're thinking about any type of supplement, whether it's vitamins, vitamin D, multivitamins, always consult your doctor first because they will be knowledgeable on it. Experts, but you always want to make sure you check in with your primary care doctor. And also, if you haven't already, check out their extra care membership savings. I used my number the other day when I was in CVS and saw the amount of discounts I got. The receipt was like that long with like extra stuff that I got off, and then also some more coupons I could use. Like extra care savings can help you save money, especially on items that you use on an everyday basis. So if you are an Extra Care Rewards member, on your birthday, you will get $3 in extra care bucks to utilize for free. Okay, so make sure y'all sign up and make sure y'all utilize that for real. All right, so first thing when it comes to setting healthy boundaries, right? It's all about figuring out what works best for you. And when I say that, you need to kind of like identify your needs and your values. Because when you identify those, you know what boundaries you need to place in order to make sure that you don't compromise on your needs and on your values. That's kind of like step one for sure. It's kind of hard to create boundaries if you haven't really figured that out yet, because your values help you keep going and your needs are things that you need in order to maybe feel fulfilled, in order for you to keep going, in order for you to live, like those are things that you have to keep in mind when you set a boundary. For example, let's say I need to go to the gym 3 days a week. I have to. Let's say my doctor told me to. I got to get in there or I'm going to have some type of health risk. That's a need. So you need to set boundaries to make sure that need is getting fulfilled. Let's say you go to the gym from 6 p.m. to 7:30 or 8 o'clock p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The boundary needs to be, hey, from this time frame, I can't have nothing planned. I can't really flex there. That's it. That's a good example because once you set that boundary, you're able to get what you need. And also to this is prioritization. You got to prioritize what means the most to you, what's important, and what you cannot flex on in that particular area. Because we've seen it several times. You set a goal, you flex. We've seen it several times. You said you're going to do something and you don't. We've seen it where you're supposed to have boundaries, but then you flex because it takes a lot. So the number 2 way to set healthy boundaries is to communicate clearly and assertively. A lot of people think that setting boundaries is all just internal. No, you kind of have to communicate it. And you also have to do it assertively as well. Use I statements. I want, I need, I'd like, I prefer, I this, I that. You know, that's you being assertive. When you say we, when you say they, but you're referring to yourself, like that's not you being assertive and standing firm on what you need and what you prefer. You have to use I statements when you set these boundaries, guys. I've done it before. I've been in spaces and I've been in situations where I'm like, I'm gonna just say we, or I'm gonna just say, I'm just, because it sounds like the better thing to say and a better thing to do, because it doesn't sound too firm. It doesn't sound too strong. And, you kind of save face when you do that. But to have strong boundaries, especially healthy, you got to use the I statements, guys. And when you use these I statements, it's about expressing your feelings, expressing your needs without harming others. And when you express your feelings, you're not blaming others as well. Like you're not putting anyone for blame, like you're not putting anyone up to blame or anything like that. Like it's just basically what you want and need. And like I stated before, be clear and specific on what you want. And when I say be clear, I mean clearly state what you want, especially when you're trying to talk to someone. Let's say you're in the talking stages. You need to have boundaries. At work, you need to have boundaries. When you're part of organizations, you need to have boundaries. Because the thing about people in general, if from what I've realized, is people will do what you allow them to do. People will say what you allow them to say. And it's up to you to set those boundaries of how somebody needs to communicate with you. So my number 3 way to have healthy boundaries is saying no. Just being able to simply say, no, can't do it. Sorry. That's it. No. Like, easier said than done, right? But it's okay to decline. You don't have to say yes to every single thing. Somebody want to go out on the weekend. Somebody wants some of your time. Somebody needs you to loan them something. Everybody is going to need something from you at some point in your life, right? And it's okay to say no. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, I can't help. Unfortunately, I don't have time. I don't have the bandwidth. It's okay. You don't have to say yes to every single invite, every single time somebody reaches out and needs you. Like, it's perfectly fine. And I had to learn that the hard way, honestly. But also, the best way to say no is to offer alternatives. So if somebody's trying to reach out to you, or no, let's say somebody is trying to get up with you this weekend. You don't have time, you don't have the bandwidth. It's okay to say no, but say, but I'm available this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Or if somebody wants you to do something and they have a long list of parameters, it's okay to say, something, no on this entire list, but I can do X, Y, and Z for you. Like, offer alternatives, try to meet in the middle sometimes. Sometimes it need to be a firm, strong no, but sometimes it can be some adjustments being made in order to meet on both ends. I think this is a issue that especially us as men have, especially early on in our 20s, because we're taught to go out there, get it, say yes to this opportunity, do this, be busy, and then you end up stretching yourself thin because you said yes to so many things, and now you gotta find time to the yeses that you've said yes to, if that makes sense. If you know your boundaries, you know your time, you know your schedule, you know your calendar, you only say yes to things that can fit into a free window, or you actually have the time. So you gotta think twice before saying yes. So being able to say no can help you out a lot when you're setting healthy boundaries. Another way to have healthy boundaries is being consistent. And when I say be consistent, don't waive or make excuses on your boundaries. Like, don't try to find ways to be like, I might can like flex a little bit here. Be consistent with your boundaries and stick to it months in, months on out, and just keep doing it. Because the moment you flex on a little bit of things, you don't have boundaries anymore. Like, it's okay maybe 1 or 2 times, but consistently doing that, you don't have boundaries anymore. Your boundaries stand firm. Also, I don't want y'all to think that you can't flex, right? But only when necessary. Like when you have boundaries, you really, really, really know yourself. You spent the time. You kind of know, like I said earlier, what you need, what you require. And sometimes those boundaries, if they're breached, or if you haven't been consistent with your boundaries, you end up getting in this routine where it's easy for you to flex it. You can be like, oh, I got to go to the gym later, but somebody called and needs something. I guess I can go. Oh, I guess I can do that. Oh yeah, I'm going to just do it this one time. Oh yeah, I'm going to just go. Like, nah, like you have to legit have those boundaries. And, people have gotten on me a lot of times because a lot of times people don't see me that often because I kind of stick to my boundaries as well. Like I stick to what I have planned. If I have a day of content, I'm gonna shoot content. If I have a day that I need to edit, I'm gonna edit. If I already pre-planned and pre-mapped out what I need to do for a certain hour, I'm going to do it. I don't care if somebody from work invited me somewhere. I don't care if it's a family member. I don't care if it's a friend. If that time is already accounted for, I typically don't go back on it unless I really need to, and it's dire need for me to do it. But that took me getting out of the mindset of having fear of missing out, FOMO. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have FOMO and it causes you to flex a lot on your boundaries because the people that are inviting you places are your loved ones, friends, and things like that. And you want to be in the number, but just know that multiple times will come where you can be somewhere and it's just going to line up. And that's happened before. You have to reinstate your boundaries sometimes too, because people will cross your line. People will cross your boundaries. And sometimes you have to remind people, you have to reinstate, you have to vocalize it because, like I said, people will take advantage if you don't. Like some people like, yeah, I know that's his boundary, but let's see if he flex a little bit. And then if you do, that's a mental note that they take and they go to keep pressing it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be that person where people know you're going to flex on your boundaries and people know you're going to, make room for something where you don't have time for it just to appease people. Sometimes that could be a detriment to your overall health, your growth, and how people perceive you as well. Like you want to be known as somebody that get the job done, get your work done. You can be heads down and you lock in, but you don't want to be known as somebody that always say they're going to do something, but don't do it. They say they're going to have their boundaries and you see where they flipped on their boundaries. You don't want to be the person where you say, yeah, I'm not going to do this for X, Y, and Z months. And then X, Y, and Z months come. And then people in your circle see that you haven't been doing that. People will take a look at that and know how serious they can take you when you say you have boundaries and how they can dive in and be like, hey, I need you this, even though they know your boundary. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, always think about that too. So another one is be prepared for reactions, bro. Like I'm telling you, like sometimes when you set boundaries, you also have to anticipate reactions. Like when I say this and when I cut this off, most likely somebody's going to react in X way. And mentally prepare yourself so you don't get caught in the moment of those emotions. Because sometimes your boundaries can disable someone from being able to do something sometimes. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And you just got to be able to eat that. And you have to be able to sit in those emotions and feel uncomfortable in that moment, standing up for yourself and for your boundary. Some people may get surprised. Some people may get upset. Some people may feel like you're not supporting them. Some people may feel like they don't never see you. Some people may feel like you make exceptions for others. Everybody's going to have an opinion, but the opinion that matters is you. And the thing that really matters in this video is your boundaries. Like the more you're able to sit in uncomfortable spaces when it comes to your boundaries and have those uncomfortable conversations, the more you will see yourself grow and level up and be who you always wanted to be. Because a lot of times it's hard for people to have boundaries when they're people pleasers. And I've been that. I've been people pleasing probably from high school to about mid 20s, late 20s. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And I realized in the midst of me people pleasing, it was because I was so easily able to flex on stuff that I want to do for myself. I was easily able to give my time, but I wasn't giving time to myself because I wanted other people to be happy with me. I wasn't even stating my boundaries like that because I was afraid of how someone would react, how someone would perceive me. And I think that's one thing that helps you out whenever you're think about your boundaries, right? It's like stepping outside of yourself and knowing someone will have a reaction and think about that whole interaction, right? Think about it's you and that person and somebody might be sad. Can you take them being sad based off of something that you prefer for your life? But in those situations, you have to stay calm, man. You know, maintain your composure, avoid getting defensive, because a lot of people do that too. A lot of people get defensive when you have a clear boundary and they can't break into it. And it's up to you to maintain your composure, and it's up to you to maintain your demeanor, because it's not you being disrespectful to them. It's not you being cold. It's you knowing what you require, what you need, and what you need to get done for your own life in order for you to show up for others at the end of the day. And that will take you far in life, you know? And you can use that in relationships, work, friendships, family ties. Like, I'm telling you, like, I wish I knew this information way, 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 way before I was in my early 30s, you know? It definitely would have helped me out with some decisions that I've made in the past. It's a little dark right here, but y'all still can see me. Number 6 here is, when you have boundaries, you got to respect other people's boundaries too now. You can't just have boundaries and go out there and say, this is what I need, this is what I require, I'm set on this, clear cut. Nah, you got to be able to accept other people's boundaries, because that helps them that helps them respect your boundaries. But what am I look like having boundaries? And then when you tell me your boundaries, I'm always breaching them. I'm always crossing them. I'm always, pushing it. So make sure that you're respecting other people's boundaries, especially the people that's in your life, friends, relationship, family, all that. When you acknowledge, like, okay, I understand that's a boundary for you, I'm not going to cross that boundary. I'm gonna make sure that you have your time to do X, Y, and Z. When you're done, just let me know, and boom. It gives somebody the comfortability to come to you, even if you did cross a boundary, or even if they have another boundary that they would like to put out there, they can do it because they know that you understand. Y'all, it's so bright out here. I'm be squinting. Matter of fact, I ain't about to be squinting talking to y'all. Forget that. Hold on real quick. Let me go get my shades. And today is technically the first day of fall. It's 90 degrees out here. First day of fall, 90 degrees. Crazy. But it's a nice day though. Get my vitamin D, soak it all in. Now, hopefully y'all can't hear the wind like that, because it is windy. Look at them trees. So my last tip for you to have healthy boundaries is to seek support, man. Support is going to be your biggest help whenever you need to set boundaries. It's also going to be beneficial to you, because if you have support and you have help, people can help keep you accountable. And people can, if you slacking one day, somebody be like, nah, Corey, nah, that ain't how you operate. You know, you clear cut on this. Don't do that. So seek support. Seek people, be like, yo, these are my boundaries. I might need help staying on track. I might need help, being held accountable. Like, I might need some help. Be real in that sense, because your friends and family can be the ones to breach your boundaries, but they can also be the ones to help you too. There's support groups. There's people that's also on these journeys, and there's people out here that's willing to go down this path to create boundaries and hold each other accountable. It's scientifically proven that people that join a group to do the same things typically end up having faster results when it comes to certain things in life. That's why you have workout groups. That's why you have book clubs. That's why you have organizations. That's why you have hobby groups, because people tend to keep up those hobbies and keep up with those groups if it's like-minded individuals doing the same thing, pushing each other to do those things. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, because support is going to take you far when it comes to having boundaries. And you have to have a firm support group. You have to be real with having conversations with people. And if you don't let people know your boundaries, especially the ones you love and trust, how can they help hold you accountable? And how can they step in when somebody is also crossing your boundaries that they blatantly see? So I say, try that too. But I do appreciate y'all for watching this video, being here. Shout out to CVS again for sponsoring today's video. And let me know how y'all like these walking and talking videos. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time walking and talking in the neighborhood with y'all. My neighbor's right, like, what this man talking to? But you know, that's part of content creation, yo. But let me know if y'all like this style too. I will definitely be doing more videos, especially if, you know, y'all let me know in the comment section. Y'all don't be typing like that. Y'all need to support and type, man. It helps me out, helps me keep y'all engaged, but also help me know what people like as well. But thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all next video. Peace.